Well, I think that all of us are just about as fed up as we can possibly be with the situation with Mr. Epstein. So, with the help of our ever so clever and wonderful friend ChatGPT, I have pulled up the latest case news. This is what it has to say. Number one, the congressional action. The House of Representatives has cut short the last work week before summer recess due to ongoing disputes over the release of government files related to Jeffrey Epstein. Must be nice. Speaker Mike Johnson expresses frustration over the whole situation, which has dominated discussions on Capitol Hill. Republican Representative Thomas Massey is pushing for public disclosure of these documents, leading to a standoff that prompted this early recess. The House GOP leadership has faced pressure from both sides of the aisles on releasing the remaining files. What? What is the problem here? We're going to take a look. Now, number two, all of a sudden the DOJ is meeting with Maxwell. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced plans for the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Miss Maxwell, Epstein's associate currently serving 20-year sentence. This meeting aims to ensure transparency in the ongoing investigation and to gather information Maxwell may have regarding other individuals involved in Epstein crimes. Now, you would think her original trial would have covered those bases. Okay. We'll see what the outcome is going to be on that. All right. Number three, the subpoena for Miss Maxwell. A motion has been introduced in Congress to subpoena Miss Maxwell to testify before the House Oversight Committee. This move reflects the urgency among some lawmakers to uncover more details about Epstein's network and the potential involvement of other higher-profile individuals. The Little Black Book. We'll see what's going to happen with that. The Trump administration's involvement. President Donald Trump has been vocal about the Epstein case, labeling the controversy yet another
We have found the witch, may we burn her!
He has instructed the DOJ to seek the release of grand jury transcripts related to Epstein and Maxwell amidst backlash from his supporters who are demanding transparency. What a concept. All right. And then, number five, the judicial proceedings. A federal judge overseeing the DOJ's request to unseal grand jury records has indicated that he will rule on the matter expeditiously, but requires more information from the DOJ before making a decision. The judge has set deadlines for further submissions from both the DOJ and Ms. Maxwell's attorneys. We'll see what they have to say about that. 6. Public interest and conspiracy theories. The Epstein case continues to fuel public interest and conspiracy theories, particularly regarding the alleged involvement of powerful elites and the circumstances surrounding Epstein's demise. The ongoing discussion in Congress and the DOJ's actions have kept the case in the spotlight, with many viewers eager for more information. So, let's see what Spirit can see. I want to jump right in here. We're taking a look at Epstein himself. I don't even know if this man is alive or not. Let's take a look and see what we can find for the overall topic here, please, and thank you, Spirit. If you could show us about the man named Jeffrey Epstein, the man who has been accused of committing all these crimes. Happiness here. Let's take a look and see. He was supposed to have committed suicide while he was in jail. Our government here in the United States has declared that that was the suicide of this man named Jeffrey Epstein. Let's have some cards on that, please, and thank you, Spirit. Was that Jeffrey Epstein? Let's start with that first and foremost. Was that Jeffrey Epstein, the man known in the public eye as Jeffrey Epstein? And is he alive or dead? All right. In their head, overthinking, stressed, and overanalyzing, happiness hater, and moving. You know, obviously, we have, this was the card that popped out here, this happiness hater, but what I'd like to point out is that we've got, you know, dancing and public displays of affection being watched by someone right here in what looks to be like a beach setting. Interesting. So, very clear. This guy even looks a little bit like Epstein. Okay. Moving. It's on the bottom of the deck. Let's have some cards to fill this in, please. And thank you, Spirit. Is this man still alive? Or is he dead? Can you give me a card for this topic, please? That is a yes. The Emperor. So they're saying that this man known as Jeffrey Epstein is, yes, no longer among us. All right, so there we have what seems to be a very clear yes, that he is no longer with us. Then, Spirit, did he assist in his own exiting? Can I have a card for that? Was he the person that ended his existence? Let's have a card, please, Spirit. Jeffrey Epstein's moves in silence. Cock blocking. Interesting. All right. Can I have a card for the confirmation of this, yes or no? So that is a single person in sovereignty. Justice. Yeah, I'm going with I'm not so sure here. I don't think that I don't think it was his idea. Let's just put it that way. I don't think that this was his idea. You know, this makes it pretty clear to me, right? It was just a plan to making me quiet. All right, the next thing that I am curious about with Mr. Epstein is whether or not he worked for governments, ours, someone else's. Let's find out. Let's take a look at that then, please, Spirit. This gentleman, Jeffrey Epstein, was he working for or with, contracted by, or in affiliation with government agencies of any kind? Did he have some sort of contract, some sort of situation where he was a participant, a player in government agencies? Into you. Good chemistry, great vibes, and positive. So, fake accounts, fake social media, accounts to spy. I think that's pretty clear then, isn't it? They were very, very close friends then, weren't they? What's going on with this, please, Spirit? Can you fill in a little bit more information? So what was he doing then? Why was he involved in media and accounts for spying with possibly government agencies? What was going on with that, please and thank you? Okay. It's bringing some clarity. Oh, yeah, he's stealing some things. Yeah, secrets. Don't even need to read these cards for you guys. This is really clear. Yep. So he was gathering. He certainly was. He was gathering things that were behind closed doors. Strength. What does this bring to us here, please, Spirit? What was the purpose then of gathering this information? Thief. Okay, I think they're telling me right here. Intimidating, threatening. All right. So he was gathering the goods. Okay. So this was Jeffrey Epstein's job. Then this tells me that there must be a client list. Correct? So then let's talk about that part of it, please, and thank you, Spirit. This client's list that our government has determined does not exist. What can you tell us about that in particular? Let's take a look at that. So if he was gathering data, information about things that transpire behind closed doors, please and thank you, Spirit. This information that he has to be linked to individuals. So tell us about that list. I'm going to just start with plain and obvious here. Does that list exist? I think that's pretty clear in my mind. Let's take a look. What do you have to say about the client's list that the government declares doesn't exist, please and thank you? All right. Woo! It's messy. It's big. It's complicated. All right. For the client list, tell us about this. What do we need to know about the client's list? Love on the brain. Fantasizing, daydreaming, nostalgia. And then we have grudge holders. That's why they had it, I guess. Boss daddy. Stable, rich business owners, CEOs, and big dick energy. Researching you, studying you, getting information. Love on the brain, fantasies, daydreaming, nostalgic, and wants you back. With grudge holder here on the bottom of the deck. So this is why and who was on this client list, which I think we all pretty clear on that already. Here's a verification. Can't make that up. Okay. So then we have a government that is saying that this is not a thing, Spirit. They say there is no list. What's going on with this? What is going on with them declaring that there is no list when it's obvious that there is a list? What's going on with this? Let's have some cards. Please and thank you about this list. Yep, here's our Queen of Swords back again. The Hierophant, the Page of Wands. The King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So I asked, what are they covering up, right? That we know that this list is obvious, but there's something going on here that they're not willing to discuss or talk about or open up to. And what I am getting here is this is just giving me, I'm just seeing judge, right? Although this is not the judgment card. I'm just seeing official ruling, right? this clarity, this bringing clarity to this information, this list, this doctrine. And this card is telling me about young ones and the movement of young ones. So, okay, what I'm being led down the path here is discussions of trafficking, King of Cups on the bottom. And here we've got this man, this king, and he's sitting in this place that is an island. And it's got water on all sides. This bird here is reminding me of flights. So what's the motivation then, please, behind holding this information back? What is the motivation going on behind this here, please, Spirit? Behind holding this information back, why the lack of transparency here? I can see that we're talking about trafficking, but who are we protecting? Okay. I'm seeing collaborations here. I'm seeing a lot of work that has gone into the past. And I'm seeing a slow moving, could be a military card, but I think what we're being told there about why they're withholding some of that information or saying that there isn't a list or yada 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 is because they have too much work invested in ensnaring is what I'm hearing. And that it's a matter of revealing things that could spoil the plan. All right. That's what I'm getting there. Is there anything else here that you would like to tell us? I'm also here hustling, making money here. Anything else? There he is back again in their head. Anything else on this lack of transparency on this client's list, please? Why are they covering this stuff up? What's going on here? Let's have a couple cards. Traveling, just like we had moving before, and uninterested. And kissing ass on the bottom of the deck. So these three cards are kind of leaving me with a sensation of back to that hustling and making some money stuff. And I was asking specifically, like, why is this being delayed, covered up? Getting sort of a criminal case investigation type of reasoning, and then also getting this like on the government level, right? Like this is on the level of the investigators, and then this is on the level of our fearless leaders, and they're just sort of like going through these motions is what I'm seeing. And maybe even that some of them are, covering their own ass. I don't know. This is an obvious answer, I think. I guess is what I would say. Many people suspect this already, sort of being verified here. Collaborations. All right. Well, let's go further. The next thing that I would like to know about all of this is going to be just the general outcome. I think we've looked at a few of the things that really resonate for people wanting to know, where is the transparency here? We don't have it. What are they hiding? Did he really off himself? We're getting all of these things pretty much cleared up. Don't want that card in there. So then the next thing that I think I would like to look at is just the general outcome. You know, justice, I think, is the bottom line that all of us equally want. You know, there were people that were abused by this situation, and regardless of who's responsible for that abuse, there should be some justice. And I think that that's the bottom line for every single one of us. We can all agree on that, can't we? Moving forward, right? We can all agree on wanting justice for the people that were hurt by this. So let's take a look there. What's the outcome here, please, Spirit? What is this Chariot going forward here? What about the people, the victims here, please and thank you, Spirit? Let's take a look at the outcome for them. What do we have? An offer. Dusting it off. And hooked. I'm going to get some cards here. We're going to pull just a few here, please, Spirit. Let's fill this out for our victims of these crimes and the outcome on their justice going forward. What's going to happen here, please and thank you, Spirit. The outcome on this case. Justice for these victims. An offer. Dust it off. There she is back again. And there they are, the Hierophant back again. I see an awful lot of coins here. Like an awful lot of attempts of settling out of court, if that makes sense. With this, the Hierophant, and although it is not the Justice card, this was the card that was representative earlier in the reading as the perhaps justice system. So it's looking like this with the card hooked is as if they're going to be able to establish cornering some of these individuals, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of offers being made, right? For sure. A lot of offers being made to these individuals, perhaps to settle out of court. Well, I hope that was able to give you some validation on what you might have been thinking was going on behind the scenes here. I hope that maybe it helps with some clarity, knowing that it looks like the victims in the end are not going to just be dismissed and forgotten here. If there's any other curiosity topics that you may have curiosity about and would like to see a reading done, you just let me know in the comments. All right, I'll be curious to see how this plays out. You have a good day, and thank you for watching.